Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. It's going to be games I recently completed. And this is going to be the digital edition. Because actually been mostly only playing the games that I've been playing on PlayStation Plus Extra. So I did say I was going to get another month of PlayStation Plus Extra and ended up doing that. And it's expired now. I managed to beat the final game on this list like just the day before it expired. So but lucky it wasn't like a long game ring. I didn't have like much to do. So yeah, now I can get back onto my physical media. I've been playing some physical games, but it's mostly been digital. So I'm going to save the physical games for another video, and because we've got quite a few here to get through, so I don't want the video to drag on for too long. So yeah, first of all, I guess. So I did like replay a few games because these are games that are like a different version. Obviously, they're PS4 versions. So I'll do them first, I guess. Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, the original Final Fantasy VII. I played through that, the PlayStation 4 port, which was on PlayStation Plus Extra, which apparently is not going to be on it anymore. I think they're like getting rid of all the Final Fantasy games for PlayStation Plus Extra, so I'm not really sure like why they're doing that. So that's the thing about like those like services. Like you never know when something's going to be delisted. I don't know whether it's because they've brought out Rebirth and not be able to play Rebirth more than playing the older Final Fantasy games. I have no idea. But yeah, I played for Final Fantasy VII. This is only my second time playing for the game, and yeah, it's still a good game. Like I still think it's a little bit overrated. Like obviously I didn't grow up with the game. I only played for it for the first time like a couple of years ago, and I enjoyed it then. And I still think it's a good game. I just think a lot of things about the game just haven't really like aged very well. I just feel like there's a lot of like mini games that are just kind of a bit rubbish. Like today, like today's standards are just not really that. They don't hold up that well. Like the Fort Condor thing, the one you have to like disguise yourself as like a Shinra like soldier. This like parts that like drag on, and there's like a submarine like mini game which is just really bloody weird. So yeah, there's some parts just drag on for me. Like I still think it's a good game, amazing soundtrack. Cool boss fights, good characters and dialogue, interesting story. Again, sometimes the story can be a little bit too long, like 30 minutes to like 40 minutes worth of like dialogue can drag on a little bit, but I guess it does add to the story. It just is a little bit too much at times. And yeah, I still think it's, like I say, a great game. I actually died to Sephiroth, which I actually didn't do in my first playthrough, like the final fight with Sephiroth. Yeah, he kicked my ass this time. I don't really know why. Maybe I was under leveled compared to what I, was when I first played through the game. Because obviously I was new to the game. I was kind of lost and like I was getting like random encounters because I was lost. So maybe I was like a higher level. But yeah, he kicked my ass twice, which is weird because I always thought Sephiroth wasn't that tough when I first played through the game. But yeah, I still think it's a great game. It's probably a 7 out of 10 for me. I still think it's again good but overrated. But that's just me personally. I didn't grow up with the game. I do want to play through it at some point, Final Fantasy 6 and Final Fantasy 8, to see how those compare. But again, Final Fantasy 8 and 6, I believe, were on PlayStation Plus Extra, so maybe I could have played one of them if I got another month. But again, they've delisted the Final Fantasy games, so I don't need to bother anymore. But I might pick them up for PS1 at some point. Next thing, which was a playthrough, was Kingdom Hearts 2. So played through Kingdom Hearts 2 for the fourth time. Played through it once on PlayStation 2 and twice on PlayStation 3. And yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favourite Kingdom Hearts game. I still think this is an absolutely amazing game. I skipped all the beginning parts for Roxas. I just couldn't be bothered with the beginning parts. I'm just not a fan of it. I just think it's the first time it was but the more times I play it, I just wanted to get to the bit where you play Sora rather than playing as Roxas. That's where the game like really kicks on. But Roxas, the bit is it's kind of like to develop like story and stuff, so it makes sense later in the game. So you skipped all that, ended up like beating the Roxas section in like an hour. Whereas if you like watch all the cutscenes, it's probably gonna take 2 to like 3 hours probably. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2, it's again just an absolute amazing game. Being a sucker for Disney, I just absolutely love this game, especially with old Disney. Not Disney nowadays are just kind of they're kind of boring. They don't have the charm anymore. But like this is like classic Disney, the classic worlds, the classic movies. Yeah, just absolutely phenomenal game. Can't really say much more. Probably give it, to be honest, nowadays probably an 8 out of 10. Which, looking back, I'd probably say like 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. I still really like the games, but to be honest, guys, I don't actually think this would make my top 10 PS2 games anymore. Which, obviously it would have been a dead cert back in the day. But I just think I've just played a lot more. Well, I played Dragon Quest 8. Put it that way. Dragon Quest 8 would beat Kingdom Hearts 2 for me. Like I always said, like Kingdom Hearts 2 is probably one of my favorite RPGs. And now I would definitely prefer like Dragon Quest 8 over Kingdom Hearts 2. So maybe Kingdom Hearts 2 would struggle to make my top 10 list. But who knows? Maybe I should try and redo that sometime. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2, I'd still give it like an 8 out of 10. It's still my favourite Kingdom Hearts game. Just sometimes the dialogue again can drag on a little bit too much, and the story's all over the place. A lot of times I have no idea what's going on. Heartless and nobodies and hearts and nobodies and kingdoms and hearts and heartless. All that good stuff. So yeah, I think this was like the only one really I gave up on, was a Bee Simulator. Yeah, I thought I'd give this one a shot. I always thought this looked like somewhat amusing, like a charming little game, something very very different, where you just play as a bee and you fly around collecting like pollen and stuff and delivering it back to your hive, and you get like little objectives and things, and it's pretty much like Superman 64, just like flying through rings. But I've never played Superman 64, but I hear it controls like absolute garbage, so I'm guessing the controls in this game are a lot better. Who knows? I played it for like an hour and a half. It was okay for what it was. It just got a little bit boring. Just not really my cup of tea. I don't think it's a bad game. It's a pretty like chill game. There's nothing really much to it. Like you don't interact with things very much. Where you can fly around and like sting people and stuff. It's just kind of like ow, ow. But they don't really do anything. Don't like flap their arms around. Just kind of like stuck to the spot. So it's kind of like a low budget game. I thought maybe you'd be trying to like fend off like birds and maybe get, I don't know, stood on by a dog or something, and you'd have to go to the vet. I don't know. Just something like that, something a little bit more interactive. Be a bee. Like bees, I'm sure, get chased around by all kinds of things. It just didn't have that aspect to it. Like I say, it was just more like a chill game. There's like a little fighting aspect where you like fight off like wasps and things. That was a very, very awkward like system. So I didn't like that. I played it, like I say, an hour and a half. It was average. It was a 5 out of 10. I didn't feel the urge to go back to it. Next one I tried was AO Tennis 2, which is obviously the Australian Open. I didn't even know there was a first game, but there's a second game apparently. Yeah, I played this for like an hour. It was an okay tennis game. Like I do quite like tennis games. Tennis games are quite like chill. There's like a new Top Spin out, which is pretty cool to hear. I might grab it sometime when it drops from price. I don't want to play like full price for a tennis game, but I did really like Top Spin 4. I think that's probably like my favourite tennis game. I think it was 4. The one with the red cover and Andy Murray on it, I think. Andy Murray and, was it Nadal? And that was a female, was it Ivanovic? I don't think she plays anymore, but I think she was on the cover. I think it was Top Spin 4. It was the last Top Spin for PS3 anyway. I'm sure it was 4. That was a great game. That was probably, like say, my favourite tennis game. AO Tennis 2, it was okay. Again, it was nothing special, except I wouldn't have like paid for it or anything. Or I did pay for it for PlayStation Plus Extra, but you know what I mean. I wouldn't buy it physically. I don't think it wasn't that good. It just didn't feel as fun as like Top Spin, but it was okay. It was 6 out of 10 maybe. Next one I played was Spider-Man Miles Morales. This was actually, I think, one of the first games I actually played with that month of PlayStation Plus Extra, so I should maybe have started with that, but anyway. Spider-Man Miles Morales. Really like Spider-Man for the PS4, the first one, the Marvel one. I thought Miles Morales might be quite good as well. Yeah, this one just wasn't for me. It was a lot shorter, which, to be honest, I wasn't really like too upset about. I was kind of wanting it over in the end. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't think Miles Morales is like a bad character, and I just don't think he's as like entertaining as like Peter Parker. And a lot of his mates in the game are just very like cringy, like a lot of cringy dialogue and things. I just couldn't get into the characters or the story. Like, the main villain was just very like cliche, not like Doc Ock. And then the first one, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It was just very generic, just very forgettable villain. I'm a villain, ha 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 ha. That kind of villain, just boring. Yeah, I just didn't get on too well with this game. Like the gameplay's fun. I actually think the most fun I had in this game was just like going around the city doing like side stuff rather than doing like the main story. So yeah, the main story just wasn't for me. I just didn't get on well with the game. It's probably an hour 5 out of 10. I'm sorry to say. I'm just very disappointed. Again, considering how much I enjoyed, Marvel Spider-Man, this is just like a massive step down. It felt more like an extended like DLC. I would definitely have been upset paying full price for it. Put it that way. Will I buy it physically? Probably not. I just don't have like any urge to like replay it. I'd definitely like replay through Spider-Man 1, but not this one. I was glad it was over. Next one I played was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. So yeah, this is like a beat 'em up game like Streets of Rage 4. And yeah, I actually got on like quite well with this one. I thought this one was, a hell of a lot of fun. Considering I'm not a Turtles fan, I never really watched Turtles and that growing up. Yeah, this was a blast. This was, yeah, pretty much Streets of Rage 4 kind of thing, but with Turtles. Very, very good. One thing I will say was this game it seemed very easy compared to like Streets of Rage 4. Streets of Rage 4 was pretty damn tough. This game on normal difficulty was actually, not really that challenging. It didn't really get too challenging until you get to the Technodrome, which kicked my ass. That was a really hard level, and like the final boss was a little bit challenging as well. But apart from that, the game was, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. But yeah, there was a lot of like cool like levels like the zoo and things, and I think there was like a volcano, and yeah, just a really like a lot of like cool things. I think there might have been a museum kind of thing as well. Just a lot of like cool like level design. Good music, I say fun gameplay. Favorite character was probably Michelangelo. I think. Yeah, Michelangelo. Again, I'm not that familiar with the name. I had to write it down in case I forgot. Yeah, he's just really really quick, really really fun. I'm a big fan of like really like fast characters. So yeah, Michelangelo was great. But I liked Donatello as well. He was quite fun. Like they're all fun, But yeah, Michelangelo's probably my favourite. I just think he gelled like the most for me. It was more my style of fighting. Yeah, beat the game and I played through the arcade mode online. I played through the whole arcade mode online with a group of people, just random people, and again just had an absolute blast with the game. The people that I was connected with they seemed to be pretty good at the game as well. So yeah, it was a good time. There was no like dead weight in the team. We all played a part. I feel. So yeah, I'll probably give this one a 7 out of 10. I think it was a pretty solid game. Probably something I will buy physically if I see it cheap, because I think it was an absolute blast. You might laugh at this one. Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure. Yeah, I just thought this just seemed like it was too tempting not to give this one a try. So yeah, it's Scrat's Nutty Adventure. It's basically based on Ice Age. I like the Ice Age movies. The first two were really good. The first one was really good. The second one was good. And after that, they kind of went like quite downhill. I did like Collision Course. That was pretty good as well. But a lot of them are just quite like generic movies. But yeah, you play Scrat, and there's obviously a lot of like snowy, like icy environments and things. It's a very pretty game, like visually. I'm a sucker for like snowy environments, so I really enjoyed the environments. The gameplay is very simple. Just jump around, like press like square to like punch stuff. It felt a little bit like Legend of Spyro, but with a lot less like combos and things you can do. I actually got like Legend of Spyro as well. I think it's a pretty decent series, pretty underrated. But yeah, it's just a very like basic generic game. You just like collect like acorns and things, and you just go like through the levels and things. There's a couple like puzzle elements which are very very basic. Your platforming's not really that challenge or anything. It's a very very easy game. Definitely one you can sit down with like your family and that and play. I know, like if I had kids, I'd happily like sit them down and play like Ice Age, like Scratch Night Adventure. It's a very like innocent game, very like easy to pick up and play. Nothing that's gonna like rack your brains and that too much. But yeah, it was fine for what it was. It was like a short like 5 hour game. It was okay. Not something I'd like go back and like replay. But for what it was okay. Probably a 6 out of 10 game. So yeah, let's get on with something a bit more tough and manly. Uh, House of Ashes, which is the final game on the list, which is the Dark Pictures anthology. So yeah, as far as the Dark Pictures games goes, I thought The Man of Medan was pretty good. I thought Little Hope it was quite average. I wasn't that into that game. And a lot of people say House of Ashes was like the best one yet. And after playing through it, I've got to agree. I think this is definitely the best one so far. I think this was a very, very good game about vampires. And you basically down under the ground, and there's vampires in there. It's pretty damn good. I quite like vampires. Vampires are a pretty good, theme for like a horror game or a horror movie. Do quite like vampires. A bit like slow starting. Beginning, I was kind of like, I'm not sure about this. This is quite slow, but as the game goes on, it gets better and better. Out of the 4 characters you play as, 3 of them survived. Or wait, no, you play as 5 characters, I believe. Yeah, 5 characters. So 4 of them survived in the end. So you play as, was it Jacob, Salim? No, not Jacob. It's not Jacob, is it? Jason. Jason. I'm making an absolute mess of this. Jason, Salim, Rachel, Eric, and was the final guy Jacob? He might have been. But yeah, I've only played it once, so I can't remember the names too much. But yeah, I thought the characters were quite likable. I wasn't really a big fan of Rachel. I thought she was quite moody. Eric seemed a little bit moody as well, but he grew on me. Jason and Salim were my favourites. They were just absolutely amazing. I just really, really enjoyed them together. Just like the dialogue together was just absolutely amazing because I don't really like each other at the beginning, but obviously as the game goes on, I started to have like a bit of a more respect for each other. So those were the guys that I really wanted to survive, and luckily they did. The only person that got killed was Rachel, which I wasn't. I wanted everybody to survive, but Rachel was like probably my least favourite. I just thought she was quite moody. To be honest, just wasn't really a big fan of her in that regard. But just a very, very good game. Good visuals, very, very tense. Especially towards the end, the game just got absolutely nuts. Lots of action, lots of like really, really tense moments. Really thought I was going to get like certain people like killed towards the end because it was just getting absolutely chaotic. Just relying on like button presses at the right time. But I still think it was a very good game. Like I say, the best one so far. And I'm looking forward to playing. Was it The Devil in Me or something, or The Devil Within Us, which just looks absolute like mayhem. Because it gives you like a preview at the end of this game, and it looks like some kind of like madhouse or something, kind of like Saw or something maybe, like that kind of like theme to it, which I think would be really, really cool. So yeah, that is it, guys. That was all I've been playing. Just a bit of a mixture there. So yeah, next time will be the back to physical games again. So I enjoyed PlayStation Plus Extra for what it was. But again, I prefer having the games like physical. It just feels right. I just don't like the fact that having a service where games can just disappear in like the blink of an eye kind of thing. I know like Final Fantasy, it gave you like a warning, like it was gonna like go like remove the games on like a certain day, but sometimes they might not even give you that. Sometimes they might just give you a couple of days notice, and you might be like halfway through the game, and they might just get rid of it. I've got no blooming idea, but see, it was okay for what it was. I might give it like buy a month of PlayStation Plus Extra like, every now and again, but I still prefer physical media. It still just feels more fun to me. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of any of these games, and let me know in the comments below what you've been playing recently. Definitely be interested to know what you've been playing. And I will catch you all in the next video. See you guys. Thanks for watching. And it's actually getting hotter today. Hopefully the lighting here has not been too bad. Very difficult to get lighting that's pretty good in here. It just seems very like inconsistent because the sun keeps bloody moving. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you all later.